Yes, good afternoon, Francis.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Calavan. Good afternoon, Uncle Coco is right here seated with us. It's been a very sad week for me, if you ask me, but I wouldn't say that totally the week was not that fruitful because during the week I saw one news that I was super excited that, after all the sad stories that came out of the possible Nigerian students who made it to the World Universities game not being able to, secure that actually moved. We saw, some of those students at the Chinese embassy, trying to secure their visas. But also quite sad that the 75 that was billed, not all of them were actually right there in Lagos, trying to secure visas for that particular tournament. It's coming up later on this month, and we can only wish them all the very best. Away from that, we talked about the Super Eight. Before I go into football, quite let's also look at gymnastic. Last week, we had some Nigerian representative doing us proud, though quite sponsored. But I think it's one of those sports that is also drifting away from the major sporting activities in the country. But we're looking at tennis, where in less than 10 minutes from now, we'll be seeing on Jabua, taking on the Van der Rosa. And I just hope that it's not going to be the normal finals we've been seeing on Jubu. I think this should be a time that she has to redeem herself to ensure that yes, she has played up to the final, so she understands how the final momentum is, and she should be able to grab that particular win for me. And I can't wait for her to actually make herself proud and also Africa, proud in general. And tomorrow, the biggest one, Novak Djokovic, is also playing up against someone that might likely take over from them. Talking about the likes of Andy Murray and Djokovic himself, Alcaraz, and I can't wait for that particular one. It's also going to be a blockbuster. Today's own, I think, on Dubois would be actually facing the pressure because Van der Rosa is not that A-list, tennis
Yes,
player.
tennis player.
Yeah, so I think yes, Onjibwa should actually have, But for tomorrow's one, we are going to see a young lad against a veteran. How is he going to stand out? We'll look at it when the time comes. But quickly, let's talk about football, the Super Eight, quite interesting one. And for me, it's quite, interesting and captivating how a club barely 2 years have been able to gain promotion to the Nigerian Premier League and also in the Super 8, the medal edition, currently playing in the finals. Aqua United gave a good account of themselves. We talked about the Yimbak who were actually knocked out, Rivers United, the big names. For me, it raises a big question. Is this how they would be representing, Nigeria, the continent? But thank God, Remo Stars, who have also secured a continental slot, will be playing at the finals. And for me, it's something we should actually look out for. But the Women's World Cup is up and running, and I saw the media team celebrating 8-1 against a team we don't even know. Is that how we're going to get to the World Cup? But we'll be looking at all of this in the
Yes,
course of the
it's
show.
good
It's
preparation to
good.
me. It's a warm-up
I
game.
don't understand. Playing against a team that we don't know.
They should celebrate. If you score
Well
a goal, you
done,
should
me.
celebrate.
Well done,
Celebrate the
me.
small
Eight
wins
one,
first.
Abby.
Celebrate the small wins. We're talking about gymnastics. I think it's a sport that really needs to be invested from
Yeah.
when that athlete is really, really young.
Yeah, it
You
is.
can't become a gymnast when you're even 10 or
No, no,
12.
no. Well, I spoke with.
As young as possible. I think.
Yeah, it's good to start early. But
Yes,
I
exactly.
spoke with the coach. I think the head of gymnastics in Cross River State. He's also part of the persons that took the Nigerian team, to that particular country. He said that at any age you can actually, be involved with, gymnastics. But it's quite important that you start from the grassroots, very
Yes.
young age,
A
and
very early
you
age.
keep that momentum. But again, we talk about sponsorship, we talk about mentorship, you're talking about their diet, you talk about so many
So
other
many
things,
things, yes.
and that's where we not just come here to talk sport. We are looking at sport
Solutions.
holistically,
Yes.
so that we can actually be able to, yes, football is like, but again, that other, like you look at the
Activities.
US, there are people that are actually legend, different sport aside, the regular ones,
Yeah.
and we can hope for a very better, sporting year with Uncle.
The new administration.
Dr. Fala will say they didn't have administration. We have been still watching anyway.
We'll watch we'll see how well he listens and how much he applies what he listens to. But I've also got, like Jimmy introduced